The emergency session of the Galactic Council had been in progress for 72 hours. Ambassador Zareth of the Hegemony watched the holographic display with growing dread as red markers consumed system after system across the galaxy's outer rim. The Devourers, an extragalactic swarm of crystalline entities, had already consumed 3 entire civilizations, leaving nothing but empty space where thriving worlds once existed. The projected timeline shows complete galactic consumption within 18 standard cycles, announced Admiral Kextar, his scaled hands trembling as he manipulated the tactical display. Our combined fleets have engaged them 7 times. 7 times we have been utterly defeated. The circular chamber fell silent, except for the nervous chittering of the insectoid Virax, delegation and the low harmonic hums of anxiety from the energy-based Lumina representatives. 67 species had united under the Council's banner, the greatest military alliance in galactic history. Yet they faced extinction. Perhaps, wheezed Elder Mothra through her respirator, we should consider evacuation to the neighboring galaxy. The long sleep ships could— Impossible, interrupted Fleet Commander Torgon. The Devourer's expansion rate would overtake any evacuation fleet. They consume faster than we can run. Zareth studied the tactical display, noting something peculiar. Why do the Devourers avoid this sector? She highlighted a seemingly insignificant spiral arm. They've carved around it completely. Admiral Kextar's eyes narrowed. Scanning. That's the Sol system. A restricted quarantine zone. Class 7 hostile primitives. Primitives? Elder Mothra coughed. Surely no primitive species could deter the Devourers. According to archives, Kextar continued, his voice growing uncertain, the species calls itself humanity. First contact protocols were abandoned after initial observations revealed extreme aggression, xenophobia, and an alarming propensity for violence. They were deemed too dangerous for integration. The Lumina representative pulsed with curiosity. What makes them so dangerous that we feared them, yet the Devourers avoid them? Zareth accessed the sealed files, her authorization barely sufficient to unlock the ancient records. What she read made her blood run cold, then burn with hope. They're apex predators, she whispered. Their entire planet is a death world. Gravity nearly twice galactic standard, toxic atmosphere, extreme weather, and they evolved by hunting creatures that could kill them. They domesticated other predators for companionship. Irrelevant, Admiral Kextar snapped. Primitive weapons cannot— They split the atom for warfare before achieving spaceflight. Zareth continued reading. They invented computers by trying to calculate how to kill each other more efficiently. Their recreational activities include hurling themselves from cliffs with fabric wings and intentionally placing themselves in metal containers that move at lethal speeds for entertainment. The chamber erupted in shocked chittering and harmonic discord. But the restriction, Elder Mothra protested. The quarantine was established, Zareth read, because in their first documented space battle, a single human ship destroyed a hegemony dreadnought using improvised weapons and tactics so brutally effective that our commanders recommended immediate withdrawal and containment. Fleet Commander, Torgon's mandibles clicked nervously. You're suggesting we contact beings so violent we were afraid to meet them? Look at the display. Zareth pointed at the tactical map. The Devourers who consume everything won't go near their system. What do they know that we don't? The debate raged for hours until a priority alert interrupted them. A Devourer scouting force had been detected 3 systems from the Council's core worlds. They had perhaps days before the final assault. Motion to lift the quarantine on Sol system, Zareth declared formally. The vote was close, 34 in favor, 33 against, but it carried. First contact came in the form of a simple quantum transmission aimed at Earth's dominant continent. The message was basic. We are the Galactic Council. We face extinction. Please respond. The reply came within hours, and its casual tone chilled every translator algorithm in the Council fleet. Yeah, we know about your bug problem. Been tracking them for weeks. Frankly, we're insulted you didn't call sooner. Also, our planet's not quarantined. We just wanted to be left alone to figure out space travel our way. Sending coordinates for diplomatic contact. Fair warning, we've got some ideas about your bug situation, but you're probably not going to like them. When the human diplomatic vessel arrived, the Council representatives weren't sure what they'd expected. But it wasn't the compact. bipedal mammals who emerged wearing primitive metal armor covered in weapons. Their leader, introducing herself as Admiral Chen, smiled with an expression that made every survival instinct in the chamber scream warnings. "So," Admiral Chen said, studying the tactical display with the casual interest of someone examining a puzzle, "your mistake was trying to fight them conventionally. These things are predators, they think like predators. Pack hunters, expansion-focused, consume everything." She pointed at the display. "But we know how to deal with predators." "How?" Zareth asked, despite her growing unease. Admiral Chen's smile widened, revealing white predator teeth. "Simple, you don't fight the pack. You become the bigger predator. You hunt the hunters." She turned to her aide. "Prep the Terran Defense Fleet for deployment. Full human doctrine." "Admiral," the aide responded, "are you sure?" "Full doctrine includes everything," Chen confirmed. "Nuclear saturation bombardment, kinetic kill vehicles, biological warfare, psychological operations, and the experimental antimatter torpedoes." "These things want to consume the galaxy?" Her smile became something primordial and terrible. "Let's show them what happens when you threaten humanity's neighborhood." As the human fleet emerged from hyperspace, ships bristling with weapons that violated 17 different warfare conventions and at least 3 laws of physics, Zareth finally understood why the Devourers had avoided Sol System. They weren't avoiding prey. They were avoiding something worse than themselves. The galaxy's salvation wore the face of its oldest fear, and it was smiling.